Walter Mosley came out with 2 #1 bestsellers, I think, in the same month or something. And suddenly they were kind of beating the bushes for black writers, black female writers and black writers, ready to go with Essence Magazine. Everybody had a book deal. It was like incredible. I had written, before that, I'd written my first young adult novel. It was called Where Do I Go From Here? But the mysteries came after that. And it's just really, some of the publishing houses discovered black readership. And that's where, you know, so they really began to look at writers that we were featuring and what we were doing as writers. So it was kind of hand in hand. And it's like, a lot of times, again, the editors, they buy what they think is going to sell. And that's what sells, you know, unfortunately. And I think that, I mean, you can be the finest writer that, I know some very fine writers who had a very, very hard time selling their books. And it's again because of the market, because of what will sell and what won't sell. Because they perceive black readers in a certain way, frankly. And this is what they will sell. I've had librarians complain to me and say, my God, you know, we have a certain budget, and these particular books, and we're talking about, you know, the pen, those books. And because that's what people are reading, or that's what students are reading, that's what we have to supply. And we keep fighting against this, but it's kind of down on a certain level. Which brings me, I guess, to what I'm writing, the paranormal. Are you writing those? I think no matter what, and that's a genre that I haven't, I think that you, even though there's a certain, you can always bring a certain grace to whatever, which is what I try to do as a writer. I have a kind of a personal best with everything I write. No matter what I'm writing, for children, this particular genre, or the mysteries, you put your own stamp on it. You take the work seriously. I think, you know, for example, someone like Stephen King, has a book called On Writing, which is a marvelous book about writing, which I think is he said the reality is, you, in writing, no matter what genre you write, what form you take, it's always about the work, it's always about the word, and how seriously you take that work and your craft. And I take mine very seriously. So anything I write, I'm going to put everything I have into it as a writer. And it means rewriting and rewriting and rewriting and researching and researching. And I just, you know, and that's what you go for. And really find editors realize that, and that's what they buy. But it's always, you know, hopefully it's continued. But it's very hard for writers nowadays to sell a book. And it's very hard to, you know, there's always pressure to write something else. I tried for 2 years to sell this new Tamara Hale. Like, there was no publisher who wanted to say, well, you know, they're not selling like. And so you say, well, let me try something else, and maybe I'll do it online. I think basically, I think many readers are drawn to character. Again, it all comes back to character and who this character is and what she represents. And I think she represents for many people, I mean for me for that matter, a woman who there's no limit to what she can do, and she's very serious about her work. She's a serious detective. And she owns her own business, and that's very important to people. It's very important to girls. She's a kind of a self-made woman, and she's kind of brought herself up from a past that was not the best. You know, her mother was abusive, her brother killed himself, but she's tough, and she's not going to let the world take anything from her. But at the same time, she has a very, very good heart. And that's, I think, is one of the things that I like about Tamara. And I think that many readers like